Good afternoon, everyone. It's Father Neil. It's Thursday, December 3rd for my weekly update. I hope you all had a very blessed Thanksgiving. It was, of course, different for all of us this year, but hopefully it was safe and still filled with family and friends, particularly by social media, which has been a great boon to all of us to meet the way we cannot do in person right now. Obviously, due to the increase in the uptick in the COVID cases and some of the particular fears of new infections after the Thanksgiving travel and the holiday travel, of course, we've been asked to be a lot more vigilant. So we're going to continue to maintain all of our safety procedures in school and in the church. Our mask limits have remained unchanged, but we are going to ask everybody again to please register in advance and don't just show up, and also to make sure that you have your own mask and are sanitized and seated socially distant from your neighbors when you are in church. Again, the procedure for communion is to wait until your hands are sprayed with hand sanitizer, come forward, receive communion in the hand, and then as you turn away from the priest, you can remove your mask to consume the host and put it back on. For safety reasons, we are not going to be allowing communion on the tongue till further notice. It's just not sanitary and safe, and it's too cumbersome to have to stop and sanitize after each person. So we're going to put that on hold for now. Hopefully that will return when the weather and the situation gets nicer. Christmas masses are important that you do register for early. We will have Christmas Eve at 3:30 and 10:30 on Thursday, Christmas Eve afternoon and evening, and Christmas Day masses on Friday the 25th at 9 and 11:30 in the morning. So please do register early, and if you haven't already done so, please take the video and sign up to volunteer. We will need a lot of extra hands because we will still have our regular Saturday and Sunday masses, as well as baptisms and funerals. On a kind of a sad note, there has been 2 cases of COVID in St. Paschal Priests. Their retired pastor has been in the hospital. He's hopefully going to get out tomorrow, but he was in the hospital with COVID. He is staying at his condo with his sister, so he's no longer in the area. He's quarantining at home. But the associate, Father Mario, did test positive, though he is asymptomatic. So as of yesterday or the day before, I forget exactly which, St. Paschal's is going to be shut down for 2 weeks at the moment, scheduled to open back up on December 14th. But in the meantime, they won't be having any masses there. I've certainly invited Father Elliott's people to come here for Mass to sign up, preferably on Saturday since our Sunday is pretty full, and certainly our church is open for funerals if they do have the need. So, and that message is being extended to all the parishes in the area. So it is severe. There are some big risks out there, but we continue to be optimistic, particularly with the arrival of the vaccine. We hope tomorrow to start with the emergency personnel, and so hopefully there is a bright spot in the horizon, an end in sight, light at the end of the tunnel, as they say. But in the meantime, we have to continue to maintain all of our vigilance. In fact, the Cardinal has issued a personal appeal to all the priests to refrain from any social activity outside of the parish, if at all possible. So even with those who we are living with or in our close circles, for example, my sister-in-law, we're still asked to wear masks at all times indoors with them, except for eating, and eating at a distance. So he's asked us to try to be more vigilant about that, and I certainly ask all of you to do the same to minimize the risk of anybody getting seriously ill in this difficult time. As far as other things going on in the church, we have met with the sacraments team, and we, based on the guidelines in our diocese, we're putting off first reconciliation till February, so the schedule for practices and materials and training will go out after the first of the year. We will have some special rites and planning for our RCIA candidates that will be welcome to the church at the Easter Vigil, and we are also scheduling First Communion, and that preparation will also probably begin toward the end of January for February, rather. So we are making all those plans for that. So a lot of good things going on. As a parish, we generally don't celebrate Our Lady of Guadalupe on the 12th of December. And again, due to restrictions and concerns for safety, they've closed the shrine for Our Lady of Guadalupe in Des Plaines, and there'll be no public processions or processions or masses or public devotions for Our Lady of Guadalupe. So extend our condolences to our Hispanic, our Spanish-speaking Mexican neighbors who that's such a big part of their life. In point of fact, we saw the Archbishop of Mexico this morning has issued a statement saying they're closing down the main shrine in Mexico City. So it's basically worldwide out of concern for the safety of all the pilgrims and, of course, the safety of all of our parishioners as well. We will be having a prayer service for healing and reconciliation on Tuesday, the 15th of December at 4 p.m. We're trying an earlier time because of the winter weather and the grayness or the darkness of the evening at that point. It will not be reconciliation with individual communion. It's a prayer service for healing in the community, healing of the country, healing of our neighborhoods, healing of our basic social structure. There will be a couple of more opportunities for individual confession, and just check the website and the bulletin for the schedule. On the 18th, Friday, we will be celebrating the Zambangami Mass with the Filipino community at 7 o'clock. Of course, there will not be a celebration of that nature that there usually is, and we also will be limiting to 120 people. So we've asked our parishioners to sign up first before we put the sign up out to everyone else. So that's going on as well. So a lot of things happening over Advent and getting ready. I believe I mentioned last week that the school will go to full e-learning for the first 2 weeks in January, simply to allow families and faculty and staff who are going to choose to travel. The CDC recommends against it, but people will do that. So to be on the safe side, we're asking everyone to then quarantine for the 2 weeks afterwards, so that we'll have e-learning only in the school for those 2 weeks till mid-January. And of course, the school's off on break for 2 weeks at the end of December. And of course, all the e-learning, the religious faith formation classes are online e-learning as well. So trying to minimize the risk while meeting the sacramental needs and spiritual needs of our people has been difficult, but it's important that we keep trying, but it's important that we keep safe. Several of our parishioners are in the hospital with COVID, and so it is in our neighborhood as well. So it is very serious. Don't want to be a downer, but I can't stress enough how heartbreaking it is to anoint people who are dying, and to see people who have not been able to visit their loved ones as they lay dying, or they're in facilities who maybe not dying, but because of COVID they can't get in to see them at all, particularly hard during the holidays. But we do have much to be grateful for, and I'm certainly grateful for all the technology that allows us to do this. When I was up at Santa Maria del Popolo, the parish up in Mundelein, for my brother-in-law's funeral this past Monday, they actually live streamed it, and so family and friends from around the country who couldn't be here were able to do that. So in the midst of all the grief and the sadness for all of us, there is much cause to be grateful. And certainly for most of us listening and viewing this video, and for myself as well, we do have a roof over our head, food on our tables, and warm clothes. So we do have a lot of things that a lot of people are struggling to do right now. So again, it's not a very upbeat message in some ways, because there's a lot out there, but we are simply taking one day at a time, one foot in front of the other, and I think we're all doing the best we can. And I want to thank you for all your patience and support in this difficult time. I will say that in the last few weeks the collections have been down significantly. I don't know what that's for, but I would appreciate anybody who could give some more to please do so. And my hope is that people will be generous this Christmas to keep our parish going. So that's all the news for right now. This weekend, I hope to see as many of you there as possible. And I should have some more news next week. The Renew My Church process is continuing. We met Tuesday night for the discernment, and it was decided that we need to meet one more time. So we will be meeting on Wednesday the 9th, next Wednesday, and then making a recommendation. We're scheduled to meet with the bishop on the 14th, on Monday the 14th in the evening, and that the cardinal is expected to meet with the Presbyteral Council on the 18th, on Friday the 18th, and make a decision and a public announcement that day. That schedule is not totally set in stone. Obviously, the cardinal has the final say and the final timing, and how that's going to be presented to the parishes, that's not yet clear. Hopefully it will become clear fairly soon, since that's only 2 weeks away. But the reason we're going to be meeting on Wednesday the 9th, of course, is I forgot to mention the Holy Day. the Immaculate Conception, the feast with our Blessed Mother born without sin, so that she could bring the Savior of our human nature into this world, will be celebrated Tuesday. We will be having our regular masses at 8:30 in the morning and 7 o'clock in the evening, so all are welcome and urged to attend. I'm trying to see if we can get our volunteers to live stream that for one of the masses, but I don't, since they work, I don't think that's going to be possible. But if it is, look for it on the website. So in the meantime, God bless you all and have a wonderful weekend. Take care now.